Hi, I'd like to say that I really support Matt as candidate because I agree with so many of the positions that he takes on issues that are really important to me, like healthcare, like the environment, like the war in Iraq, like the economy. And I'm really happy to see a candidate who's willing to take some positions that may not exactly be popular with the current American political system. I think healthcare is one of the big ones that has such a need for, that we have such a need for, and yet has a lot of opposition to it from the medical community, from doctors, etc. And I was just recently come back from a trip where I was with my uncle out in California, who's very liberal and has lived abroad for a good bit of his adult life. He lived in England, and his longtime companion is from Paris and is French. And they were talking about the incredible situation we have in this country where we do not have national health care, and that in Europe it works well, and it's just taken for granted that people who don't have money can get health care. They can just walk into a hospital and get care. No one asks them, how are you going to pay before giving treatment? And he said that the difference from there and then coming back here when he had an emergency room situation was, first thing was, how are you going to pay? Well, now he's old enough, he's got Medicare, so he's kind of in a socialized system, but it's only for that segment of the population that's old enough. And the care in France, in fact, is so much better than here that his companion, who has been dealing with cancer for a long time, goes back to France for treatment, where the treatment, in fact, is completely free for cancer. And yes, they do pay higher taxes, but they all realize that it supports many programs, such as healthcare, that is beneficial to everyone. And I don't think they don't seem to have, from what he was saying, the same issue we have here around resentfulness about government and paying taxes, that they view their government as something that can help people, and that in fact it does. Another area where they're so far ahead of us is in their transportation and mass transit systems, and I see that Matt's also a big proponent of having more mass transit so that we can reduce pollution and global, CO2, etc., that's contributing to global warming, and that in these European cities it's just so common to bicycle, to take the train, to take the buses, of course to walk, and that in this country we're just not set up that way. And we, of course, have urban sprawl or suburban sprawl, but we also don't have the infrastructure, mass transit systems in place to help assist with that. And so that's another, I guess, factor for me in supporting Matt. Particularly the war in Iraq, I guess I'm just, I don't know, I don't believe that war is the answer. I don't believe that you can stop violence with violence. Perhaps you can interrupt, but I don't think you can stop people in this manner. I think that I'll go so far as to say that what we need to do is engage anyone who we think is hurting us with love, and to ask them, what is it that makes you hurt so much, that you want to hurt us in order to heal? And that everyone is really just a rooted aspect of ourselves, and hurts, if they do hurt, out of their own pain. And what we need to do is heal their pain, not kill them. It just won't stop the violence. And so I'm really hopeful that with candidates like Matt,